First of all, Hidden Dollar USA channel would like to clarify that any pictures or videos shown in this content do not necessarily represent rare coins. They are replicas used only to explain specific minting errors. Our purpose is to inform you, based on auction records, about the types of minting errors and the coins on which such errors may be found. Identifying those coins and selling them to a nearby collector or through auctions is entirely your responsibility. Today we have brought you 3 quarters, yes, only 3 quarters, that are valued in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, without any further delay, let's start the video. This coin once sold for over $45,000. But here's the part they don't tell you. It was never supposed to leave Philadelphia. You've held a quarter 1,000 times. Coffee, parking meters, that loose change in your cup holder. You've never really looked at it. But what if I told you that a single quarter, minted just a few years ago, is now worth more than a new car? Not because it's old, not because it's made of gold, because of a ghost, a tiny, invisible mistake that the United States Mint tried to bury. This is the story of the 2019 quarter, the river of no return, and a tiny letter D that turned pocket change into a $45,000 nightmare for the collectors who missed it. Let's go back, not to ancient history, to 2019. The world felt normal, the economy was humming, and the US Mint was doing what it always does, printing billions of coins. As part of the America the Beautiful series, they released a quarter honoring the Frank Church River of No Return Wilderness in Idaho. Sounds peaceful, right? It's not. This river is a savage stretch of whitewater cutting through 2 million acres of mountain lions and grizzly bears. It's called River of No Return because pioneers used to float downstream on log rafts and couldn't paddle back up against the current. Once you went in, you were gone. The coin shows a drift boat pushing into that raging current, a man standing with an oar, the cliffs rising like teeth behind him. The designer was a man named Joseph Mena, a brilliant sculptor. His work is flawless, but the flaw wasn't on the design. It was buried in a single letter. Here's where things take a strange turn. Most quarters are struck at 3 places: Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. For the 2019 River of No Return, the Mint made millions of them. They were common. You could find them in your gas station change. Then, silence. Collectors started noticing something terrifying. Some of the Denver minted quarters, the ones with the tiny D mint mark above the date, looked wrong. Not wrong like a dent, wrong like a secret. The D wasn't crisp, it was smeared, almost melted. But that wasn't the real issue. The issue was the absence of something else. You see, in 2019, the Mint was experimenting. They had old dies, they had new presses, and on a single shift, probably during a die change, when the press operators were rushing to hit quota, a handful of quarters were struck with an impossible combination: a Denver die on a Philadelphia planche. That should not happen. If a coin is made in Denver, the planche, that blank metal disc, is shipped there. It's stamped in Denver. It gets the D. But these coins, they had the D, but the metal composition was wrong. The weight was off by fractions of a gram. You couldn't see it, you couldn't feel it, but the grading companies could. And when PCGS found the first one, the room went cold. Now let's talk about the obsession. Because collectors are not normal people. They are hunters. And when a hunter hears only 5 exist, they don't think, oh, that's neat. They think, I will destroy anyone who gets in my way. By 2021, the hunt was on. People were buying boxes of quarters from banks, thousands of dollars in loose change, just to search for the ghost D. And here's the cruel part. Most of these error coins were released into the wild. They were spent. By you. By me. A $45,000 coin sitting in a vending machine, holding a bag of chips hostage. If you have ever checked your pocket change, this might be the moment you start. Let me show you the ladder of value. Because not all errors are created equal. First, the die crack. This happens when the metal die that stamps the coin develops a hairline fracture. On this quarter, a thin raised line might run from the river into the mountains. Value, about $50. A nice dinner, not life-changing. Second, the off-center strike. The blank slips in the press. The design slides off the edge. 10% off-center, $150. 30%, now you're at $400. Third, the double die. This is where the engraving on the die itself is duplicated at a microscopic angle. On the river of no return, look at the word liberty. If it looks fuzzy, like an old photograph moving, you might have one. Value, $2,000. Fourth, the brockage error. This is terrifying. A struck coin sticks to the die. Then the next blank is slammed into it. Instead of a design, you get a mirror image ghost of the previous coin. It looks like a demon pressing through the metal. Value, $7,000. But the fifth error, the one that makes the $45,000 sale look like spare change, is the missing clad layer. Remember how I said the metal was wrong? The 2019 quarter is a sandwich. Copper nickel on the outside, pure copper in the middle. On the ghost coins, the nickel layer was invisible. The quarter looked like a penny, copper red, forbidden. And just when collectors thought they had seen it all, a man in Ohio found one. In a roll from the bank. He sent it to Heritage Auctions. The bidding was savage. It wasn't about the coin anymore. It was about owning the mistake, owning the story. The hammer fell at $45,000 for a quarter. If you are holding a 2019 River of No Return right now, turn it over. Look at the mint mark. If you see a D that looks nervous, if the metal whispers instead of shouts, do not spend it, because the ghost is still out there. And if you think this is impressive, wait until you see what happened next. $68,000 for a coin that was almost thrown into a landfill. And the mistake? You need a microscope to see it. Most treasure hunts start with a map. This one starts with a betrayal. The year is 2001. The world is changing. The internet is roaring, and the U.S. Mint is celebrating the smallest state in the Union, Rhode Island, the ocean state. Their quarter features a vintage sailboat gliding across Narragansett Bay. The Pell Bridge in the background, the sun breaking through the clouds. Peaceful, serene, a lie. Because beneath that peaceful surface, a war was brewing. A war between collectors, the mint, and a tiny letter D that would tear the hobby apart. Let me take you back, not to the coin, to the designer, a man named Thomas D. Rogers. He sculpted that sailboat by hand. Every curve, every rope. He thought he was making art. Instead, he accidentally created a psychological weapon. Here's what happened. The Rhode Island quarter was minted in massive quantities. Philadelphia made over 400 million. Denver made over 400 million. They were everywhere. No value, no mystery. Then, a collector in Boston, a man who spent his weekends with a jeweler's loop taped to his glasses, noticed something. He was looking at a Denver minted quarter. The D was clear. The sailboat was sharp. But there, near the sun, a tiny bump, a raised lump the size of a grain of salt. He ignored it. Then he found another. Same bump, same place. Then another. He stayed up all night. 3 cups of coffee, 4. His wife yelling at him to come to bed. He didn't listen. And at 2 a.m. he saw it. The bump wasn't damage. It was a die chip. A piece of the metal die had broken off. Not a big piece, microscopic, but that broken piece meant that the die was degrading. And when a die degrades, it creates a unique fingerprint. Every coin struck from that die has that same bump. He had discovered a variety, and not just any variety, a hidden one. Now let's talk about the fear of missing out, because FOMO is not just an emotion. In coin collecting, it's a drug. Once the collector posted his findings online in 2002, the market lost its mind. Everyone wanted a Rhode Island quarter with the sun bump. Prices went from 25 cents to $50 overnight, then 100, then 500. But here's where things take a strange turn. The real money wasn't in the die chip. The real money was in the mint mark position. On a normal 2001 D Rhode Island quarter, the D sits comfortably below $quarter. But on a handful of coins, struck during a single hour on a single press, the D is floating. It's too high, almost touching the ribbon. Why? Because the mint worker mounting the die didn't tighten the screw. The die wobbled, just 1 millimeter. And in that wobble, the D traveled north. Collectors call it the high D. And for 20 years, only 3 have been found. Now let me walk you through the errors that turned this sailboat into a sunken treasure. First error, lamination. This is where a flake of the metal peels away like dead skin. On the Rhode Island quarter, look at the ocean. If you see a rough, scaly patch, that's a lamination error. Value, $40. Second, clipped planche. The metal strip feeding into the press stutters. The punch cuts a crescent-shaped bite out of the coin. It looks like someone took a cookie cutter to the edge. Value, $150. Third, die cud. Remember the die chip? A cud is worse. A whole chunk of the die breaks off. On the reverse near the bridge, you might see a raised blob-like mass that shouldn't exist. Value, $800. Fourth, double die reverse. The sailboat's rigging looks like 2 ropes instead of 1. The waves have double ripples. This is a true minting miracle. Value, $4,000. But the fifth error, the $68,000 nightmare, is the quadrupled die. Not doubled, quadrupled. The image of the sun was struck 4 times at 4 different angles. It looks like a cubist painting. Exploded, shattered. The rays of the sun go in every direction. Only one has ever been graded by PCGS. The owner kept it secret for 12 years. Then in 2013, he sent it to auction. The room was silent. 2 phone bidders, then 3, then a bidder in Japan who had never even seen the coin in person. $68,000 for a quarter that was almost spent at a toll booth. If you have a 2001 Rhode Island quarter in your wallet right now, tilt it toward the light. Look at the D. Is it where it should be, or is it floating? Look at the sun. Does it look peaceful, or does it look like it's having a seizure? Because the ocean state curse is this: you will never look at change the same way again. And if you think that's shocking, you are not ready for the last coin. $83,000. And the government tried to destroy every single one of them. You want a story about obsession? Forget collectors, forget auctions. This is a story about the United States government melting down a mistake and missing one. The year is 1969. Richard Nixon is president. The moon landing is 3 months away. The Vietnam War is tearing families apart. And the U.S. Mint is in chaos. For decades, quarters were made of 90% silver. But silver prices were exploding. The government was losing money every time they made a coin. So in 1965, they switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition. Cheap, durable, soulless. By 1969, the mint had a problem. They had old silver planches. They had new copper-nickel planches. They had presses running 24 hours a day. And in the chaos, someone loaded the wrong blanks into the wrong press. At the Denver Mint, the result? A 1969 D quarter that was struck on a silver planche from 1964. That should be impossible. By law, silver quarters were obsolete. Any leftover silver planches were supposed to be destroyed. But one slipped through. Maybe it was stuck in a bin. Maybe a worker saved it as a souvenir. We don't know. What we know is this: the coin weighs 6.25 grams. A normal 1969 copper-nickel quarter weighs 5.67 grams. That tiny difference, half a gram, is the difference between spare change and a down payment on a house. And here's the terrifying part. When the Mint discovered that silver planches had been used in 1969, they panicked. They issued an internal memo. They ordered inspectors to pull any suspicious coins from circulation. They even sent agents to coin shows to buy back any examples they could find. They thought they got them all. They were wrong. In 1983, a teenager in Colorado found a strange-looking quarter in his father's change jar. It was heavier, brighter. It sounded different when he dropped it on the table. He almost spent it on candy. He didn't. 37 years later, that teenager, now a grown man, sent the coin to Heritage Auctions. The experts at NGC didn't believe it at first. They thought it was a counterfeit. But the X-ray fluorescence gun doesn't lie. 90% silver, 10% copper. Struck in 1969. Denver Mint. The bidding war lasted 45 minutes. The final price, $83,000. Now let me show you the errors that could make you the next person to find a fortune. First, off-center strike. On a 1969D, 10% off-center, $75, 50%. You can see the blank edge. Value, $600. Second, die crack through Washington's ponytail. Look at the back of his hair. If you see a jagged line running down, that's a late-stage die crack. Value, $200. Third, lamination error on the reverse. The eagle's wing looks like it's molting. Flakes of metal missing. Value, $450. Fourth, clipped planche with a curved clip. This is not a straight cut. It's a crescent moon bite. On the 1969D, curved clips are rare because the silver strip fed differently. Value, $2,000. But the fifth error, the $83,000 nightmare, is the wrong planche error. A copper nickel design struck on a silver disc. It's the holy grail of modern minting errors. The government tried to kill it, but like a ghost, it refused to die. And just when you think the story is over, there's a rumor, a whisper among the top-tier collectors. Some believe that a second 1969D silver quarter exists, that it's sitting in a sock drawer in Ohio, that the owner has no idea what they have. Maybe it's you, maybe it's not. But here's the truth. These three coins, the ghost of the River of No Return, the cursed sailboat of Rhode Island, the silver demon from 1969, they prove one thing. Treasure is not in museums. Treasure is in your hands, your pocket, your jar of forgotten change. The question is not whether the coins exist. The question is, are you looking? If you've made it this far, you're not just watching a video. You're a hunter now, and hunters need to stick together. Hit like if you want more treasure stories. Subscribe if you're ready to never look at a quarter the same way again. Because the next coin you spend might be the one that changes your life.